Hello, this is Arlene Arnold, founder of Transformational Tools. And each month I bring you an update of the energy coming up. And so this is the energy for April. And our theme is Revolution of the Heart. Let me show you what that looks like. Look at this and feel into what this says to you about the heart. This was suggested by Dodie Weiss, who is part of our leadership group at TT. At first, I wasn't sure about the word revolution. I think of the heart as loving and soothing, not necessarily revolution. But I'll put a link to our newsletter in the description so that you can read what Dodie said about this because it's pretty amazing. At TT, we find that there are many interpretations possible of things. So I hope you will come into your own interpretation as well, because that's how we expand and grow. So as I meditated on this theme, Revolution of the Heart, I realized that my heart had contracted a bit during these times of chaos and upheaval. Maybe I was hoping to keep it safe. I'm not sure at this point, but I'm still working with that. This revolution means that the heart is no longer, it no longer wants to contract. Instead, it wants to stand in its sovereignty. This is the sovereignty of the soul. For me, this is an aspect of the evolution we are going through. So it's kind of like revolution can lead to evolution, moving forward, expanding, being more truly who we are. This evolution is opening the heart to recognize that it is vibrating in multiple dimensions, not just the third dimension. And each dimension gives us a unique view from these finer and finer frequencies, like the fifth dimension and beyond. The third dimension feels heavy to me. It's weighted down by old patterns and beliefs, which we are in the process of releasing. And finding our inner truth, it requires constant awareness of what we are feeling and how we are dealing with it. Some of this is necessary so that we can allow ourselves to feel the emotions. That is part of how these patterns and beliefs shift, leaving room for new understanding. I find personally that the fifth dimension creates a bird's eye view, a soul view of what is happening in the third dimension. This is seen from a neutral stance. It may bring sadness without judgment, for example. For me, the sadness comes from sensing that the magnificence that is possible as the soul in human form recognizes who it is gets lost in the chaos and brutality. An overlay, that which is an overlay that covers over infinite possibilities of the soul and form. This is such an important concept. It's remembering that there's an overlay that covers over the infinite possibilities of the soul in form. I find it helpful to focus on what is an emerging part of the overlay that may be ready to transform through the heart. This awareness points to the release that is happening. So, in other words, there are things that are coming up, they're emerging through this overlay. And what we want to do is to be aware of that and allow those to be released. So this awareness points to the release that is happening. We can consciously offer compassion and care to ourselves and others during this time of change. That's such an important part of it. So this leads me to the tools that can help bring about these changes we are suggesting for the month of April. So I want you to look at this first one of our tools. This is called, this one is called a core crucible. I find Core Crucible very helpful as we're releasing parts of this overlay. It stands ready to ingest what comes up to be transformed. Sometimes I pick up lower frequency energies from the mayhem in the world. Personally, that happens to me. It comes out in dreams at night often. When I'm aware of the dreams, I turn to the core crucible to position itself under my feet so that I may let go of what creates my stress and keeps me from sleeping. As it flows down into the core crucible, just imagine that this is a ball of energy that's below your feet. It is resolved into natural energy that can be used in another way. I end up feeling more at ease and can go back to sleep. And here's one of the things that Core Crucible says to us that I think we can really imagine and be with. Bring your grief and your hurt into the crucible. Bring your doubts and your fears. The residue left from the drama of life is consumed, leaving only that which is fueled by passion and lived in joy. Fueled by passion and lived in joy. Now let's look at the next tool that we have. This is also a luminary from the Oracle deck. It's called Love. And love says to us, now as the veil thins, humanity sees clearly that love was never lost. Compassion, acceptance, transformation, encouragement, allowing, embracing, offering, and co-creating are all available as we remember we are one with our divine source. I am encouraging all of us to take each of these words during this month and live with them, feel into them, find out what they mean to us. So one time you can work with compassion, then acceptance, transformation, encouragement, allowing, embracing, offering, and co-creating. I know that we will find out a lot about ourselves as we sit with this beautiful card, this luminary that is here to help us. Now let's look at another one of the tools. This one comes from the color cards. And the color cards are an oracle deck that deals with the meaning of the different colors and what they can mean to us. And it sees it as a strength or a lesson. And in this case, the card that I picked was the Strength in Magenta. What I picked from the book then in that Strength in Magenta is called Spiritual Competence. That's what stood out. So here's what Magenta says about spiritual competence. You have matured in your spiritual life. Experiences that used to baffle you or scare you no longer cause you concern. Your spiritual connection comes from the soul center, deep within your heart. From here, you are aware of yourself as a multidimensional being. You are operating on many levels besides this one. So we are way more than the third dimension. We have many ways in which we see things. And that is what helps us to really find who we are and move into sense of sovereignty of the soul. Now, the final one is the stone that Dodi picked out for this month, which is called aquamarine. And I chose some of the words that she offered about this stone because it seems so appropriate for what we're talking about. Aquamarine reduces stress. It supports anyone who feels overwhelmed by responsibilities. It can extinguish old toxic programming. Aquamarine clears confusion and gives clarity while sharpening your intuition. It also calms overreaction of the immune system. So this is pretty important stone for April, aquamarine. If you don't have that, you might be able to find that in a store near you or maybe online. So there we are. It is a challenging time on the planet Earth, but we have tools, and you may have other tools that you use. And we can support each other. That's one of the most important things we can do. We can evolve as we learn more about who we are and what is possible for the soul in human form. At Transformational Tools, we invite you to join our community called the Vortal. Others who are evolving consciously come together to support each other. Look for the link in the information below, and it is free for 30 days, so you have a chance to try it out and see how it feels for you. We also come to you each Friday with an update of the energy for the week. For those who come to us live at that time, we offer a reading with the Oracle decks, and that is at noon in Pacific time. So I will also put that below so you can come and be a part of that with us. And thank you for supporting our work by subscribing to this channel. It's very important as we build our presence on YouTube. So until next time, may you find that salve of love available to you in many ways. And you can have that available for you and for others around you. So thanks for being here, and many blessings to you. Bye for now.